You know, Michael, I think it could be argued that it felt a little bit like she was acting, that it was too extreme. So maybe the jury didn't like her. This was the first time that he allegedly physically assaulted her. There was no history that we are aware of, nor that was brought into evidence. But let me ask you this, because the jury deliberated. And then after hours of deliberating, they came back and said, we can't reach a verdict. And then they went back to deliberate some more, and it was well less than an hour that they came back with this verdict. Does that tell you anything about what might have been going on? I was surprised. I said, maybe the holdout said, all right, forget it. Let's just go with manslaughter.
Yeah, and it was late at night. Her testimony was a little bit cringy, but I've seen people cry in a people cry differently, right? Some people look really, really horrendous when they cry, but it's genuine. Some people look like you would typically imagine you would look like when you cry. I was also, like everybody else, looking at her testimony and cringing a little bit, but really trying to gauge, credibility. The jury was in the room with her; they saw it. But I felt like her and her defense put on enough ample evidence that she was in fear for her life. Again, she left him and she moved to Florida. Obviously not because, there was no evidence that she was just a bad seed who was just trying to separate him. I mean, she married an older man for a reason. She got pregnant with an older man for a reason, because presumably she was in that position. And so if you're the jury and you're looking at it and you're thinking, I mean, why was she all of a sudden, he had not abused her before that, but she never murdered anybody before that, right? This is a first for both of them, and they were both in a weird situation. And I could see how a person as diminutive as her, as light and small in stature as her, feeling like she needed a gun to defend herself. I mean, again, just the text messages that were shown in court that he would send her just showed him to be just a very, 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 unhinged type of person. And he would say things that I could see how it led itself to that event where she'd point a gun at her. Again, maybe she killed him intentionally. Maybe the jury got it right. But when a jury stays deliberating for so many hours and then comes, look, I think it was in 30 minutes after they went back and they came back with a verdict, it just, I think they got it right. I'm not gonna step on their logic. It surprised me a little bit.